Y'all, I tell you, Jarita Fraser King is a good friend, not only to me, but to Natchez, to Adams County, and to our region, and all the great work that she is doing at Alcorn. And we are grateful for this event. And so thank you, Jarita, for having me here today. I just want to first say, how many of you are from Natchez-Adams County? Just to get, I do see a few folks. All right. So the rest of you are from other places. Well, let me just welcome you to Natchez. We love our city, and we love having you here, and we hope you're enjoying the day. And I can tell you're enjoying some good food. I just shared with someone just a moment ago that it's so important. Every morning I celebrate when I can button my coat. Yeah, because we have so much good food and so many good restaurants here in Natchez. You know, that really opens up a good dialogue when we're talking about small business, because small business is the heartbeat of America. And in fact, in small cities like ours, small business is truly the backbone. In fact, you can look around Natchez and you will see by far that small businesses outnumber all else. In fact, by the definitions of our national economy and what they call a small business, I think just about every business we've got in Natchez is, according to their definition, a small business. I actually, many years ago, decided I would step out and become a small business person. And I opened a little business in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. It was a small antique gift shop. And it was something that my wife and I at the time really wanted to give a try. We were expecting our son, who is now 32, just made me a grandfather about 5 months ago, and we needed a little extra income. Well, let me just tell you what happened to us. We had a great run. We opened in the fall, and through Christmas we had a great run, and then came our little boy, and there went the small business. About that time, I had been working in Jackson, and I had been given an offer to step into an insurance agency in Crystal Springs, and the small business went by the wayside. Later on, I would form a consulting company in insurance and also become a lobbyist, and then eventually move to Natchez and create a bed and breakfast business. But I learned a lot in those few months that we were operating a small business. And that is, I learned that small business is hard. And very few succeed without the support that is out there to be given to them. We are so grateful to be living in a time where we have events like this Small Business Expo, where you can meet those who are in the industry who are there to support small business, who are there, such as the Small Business Administration, those at our state level, those at our local level, not only at the college, but in our Chamber of Commerce, who are there to give a hand and a hand up when needed. Because being a small business owner is really not for everyone. And there are many, like myself, who step in thinking, oh, this is a piece of cake. I want to tell you the rest of the story. I told you I learned a lot in those years, actually months, so many years ago. That was over 30 years ago. I will tell you what I did learn. Is I learned, number one, find something you enjoy. Because if it's something you enjoy, generally you're going to work hard enough to be good at it. Number two, realize the needs of the community in which you live. And make sure that your concept meets the needs of that community. Number 3, be someone who loves work. That's why I say make sure it's something you love to do, because you're going to have to outwork everybody else. And then number 4, have faith that if God has given you a vision, He will see you through. Because I truly believe that when God puts something in our heart and we go after it with all that we have, we will succeed. There are a lot of stories across America about the success of those who have ventured out to do the things that they knew they were meant to do. Here in Natchez, we're seeing a lot of that success. At City Hall, we count privilege licenses. And going back to 2020, when I became mayor, we decided to start counting these privilege licenses because we had just come through a national pandemic. In fact, we were still in the midst of it. But we were working very hard to keep Natchez open, to keep Natchez safe. And in fact, Forbes was doing a survey we didn't even know in February of 2021, named Natchez one of the top 10 places, best and safest places to visit during a pandemic. Well, since then, we have had over 400 ribbon cuttings. I got the count at City Hall just last week, and since 2020, over 450 privilege licenses have been issued here in such a small city. You can clap. That's a big deal. And in looking over the list and going over it from time to time, it's amazing to see how many have renewed it, have stayed in business. But I know this, they are all meeting a need, working hard, definitely making a difference in this community. But they are also, every one of them, pursuing a passion that they have. And I believe if you pursue a passion hard enough and long enough, it will work out. When I moved here in 2016, I actually moved here to begin the latter stage of my working life and try to embark upon an early retirement. Little did I know that I would be drafted to run for mayor in the fall of 2019. And that changed everything. But during that time, I had always wanted to operate a bed and breakfast. So I told you about the antique store gift shop. Well, let me tell you the rest of that story. I decided, well, I'm going to do something I love that I've always wanted to do. I'm going to pour passion into it, and I'm going to work hard. And I'm also going to surround myself with people who can help me and really get this going, because I was still a lobbyist in Jackson and still had a full-time job while I'm doing all of this. And I opened a bed and breakfast here. I then bought another and opened another bed and breakfast. One of the hardest decisions that I had was to run for mayor, knowing it might affect that business that I then had had 3-4 years and was loving so much. I thought, well, I can just keep it going. And I found out that as soon as I got elected, oh, thank you. As soon as I got elected, it was going to be very hard to run the bed and breakfast business and continue to be mayor. So I had to close that bed and breakfast business. I sold both of them. And people ask me, are you a full-time mayor? I tell them, I am an all-the-time mayor. But I was so grateful. One of those bed and breakfasts, Garden Song Bed and Breakfast, was actually rated number 2 on TripAdvisor the day I sold it. And thank you. And I learned the hard way that if you're going to succeed, you just really got to put in the work. One thing about Natchez, Natchez has a support system. Here we are today, and this support system goes so far. I want you to know that as mayor of Natchez, I can be a part of your support system. That's why I'm here talking to you today. I am hoping that many of you are already past the stages of early business plan development, getting your finances together, getting your business open. But if some of you are in those early stages, just know that we are there to help. We have helped a lot over the last few years, and it is always a joy to meet with someone who has an idea, and then to be there when they cut the ribbon, and then to be there when they are celebrating several years of success. I will end with this, and it goes back to what I said in the beginning. Small business, you are the heartbeat of America. You are the backbone of our community, and you account for all of the jobs, all of the jobs, all of the jobs that are created here. I just left a proclamation ceremony where we proclaimed this to be National Tourism Week. Here, our Natchez group, celebrating that. And it was there that we shared the statistics about Natchez and our tourism. Do you know that Natchez is now, for a city our size, a leading city in tourism for our region? And numbers that were just shared with us last year from Visit Mississippi showed that in 2024, tourism in Natchez accounted for $129 million in direct investment into our city. Over 1,000 jobs, another over 400 indirect jobs, for almost 1,500 jobs, accounting for almost $50 million in payroll. Now do that math. That payroll multiplies over and over, 10 times they say. And so the impact of tourism in Natchez is in the millions and millions and millions of dollars. And do you know what all of those tourism businesses, shops, restaurants, tour operators, do you know what they all have in common? Yes. They're all small businesses. And so I say it again, small businesses, you are the heartbeat of America and the backbone of our community. Tarita, thanks for all the good work you're doing, and thank you all for being here and for allowing me to have a few moments to share with you about Natchez. May God bless you, and we look forward to visiting with you and seeing you in the months and years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, it's always great to have someone in leadership that you can call on at any time. If his schedule is clear, he is going to come and support you in some sort of way. And I just want to say thank you again, because the city of Natchez sponsored us to be in this space today. So that is huge. So give a bear another hand for that as well. We're so appreciative of that. And I know that he have another event to get to, so we're not going to hold him.
I'm actually meeting with an industrial prospect that is a small business, but with some big ideas. So say a prayer.
I hope they come with a lot of money.
I know, right? Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank all of you.
All right.